Mark Feinstein reported that he believes the two teams that are favorites to sign Trevor Bauer is the New York Mets and the Los Angeles Angels. So in this video, I'm going to react to that report, what I think about it, what a Bauer signing would look like, and what it would mean for the New York Mets. If you like this video reacting to the latest rumors and getting my opinion on these different topics, make sure to leave a like, comment down below. What do you think about this report? I know a lot of you are not crazy about Bauer, and I get that. I understand why, but I still want to know what do you guys think about this report, because obviously Springer and DJ LeMahieu are off the board. You're not going to get JT Realmuto. So the last big remaining free agent for the New York Mets would be Trevor Bauer. So I really want to get your guys' take on this report. And as always, you can make sure to subscribe. Got a lot of support yesterday. I really appreciate it. Getting closer to 1,000 subscribers. So definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend. And I love talking to you guys in the comment section. So let's talk about this report. What I find fascinating is that the New York Mets were willing to go to a 6-year, $125 million deal for George Springer. So, and we said that, once you got Francisco Lindor, you didn't really have to get George Springer quite as much, because if you gave him that amount of money, $25 million a year, it would make it very difficult to re-sign your expiring free agents, guys like Francisco Lindor, Michael Conforto, and Noah Syndergaard. And that definitely was a concern for me and some of you other guys, but obviously to the Mets, it wasn't that big of a concern to them. I mean, the fact that they were willing to offer that kind of contract shows that they were serious about getting George Springer. It shows that the Mets were serious about putting that much money into one player, being right up against the tax, and putting themselves at risk of losing these other players. What that could mean is that maybe the luxury tax is not a big of a deal as some of us, like myself, have been making it out to be. That definitely could be a possibility. Or just that the Mets really wanted George Springer. I can understand why the Mets wanted Springer. I wouldn't mind having him. But to me, I think pitching is a bigger priority for the New York Mets right now as far as weakness. Brandon Nimmo could get the job done offensively in center field, and Don Smith could get the job done in left field. What the New York Mets need in center field is defense, and there are a couple guys in the free agent market that could do that. We've talked about them before, but Jackie Bradley, Albert Almora Jr., even Jake Marisnick, guys like that, they could come in late into the game for defense. When it comes to starting rotation, there isn't someone you can go late into the game to be your starting pitcher. Like, you either have a good pitcher or you don't. Not like at a center fielder where you could have a good defensive center fielder late. I mean, there's only one kind of pitcher. You're either good or you're bad. And Trevor Bauer, he has been good and bad in his career. He had a really good 2020, was a 2-month season, was not against the greatest competition, so you do have to take that with a grain of salt. But he was very good in 2018, posting a 2.21 ERA, so he has been a very good pitcher in the past. Let's not act like this is the only time Bauer has been good. Yes, Trevor Bauer did have an inconsistent 2019, had good moments, had bad moments, so he has shown you that he can be inconsistent, but what he does have is upside. If the Mets could get anything close to the Bauer in 2018, or better yet, even 2020, it would make them such a better team. Having the 1-2 combination of Jacob deGrom and Trevor Bauer, followed up by Noah Syndergaard and Marcus Stroman and Carlos Carrasco, and gives you the ability to maybe put David Peterson in the pen. I think David Peterson has the stuff to be a really good reliever with the movement he has and the way he moves the ball around the strike zone. He doesn't just throw it in one area. I think David Peterson can make for a good reliever because he had that good outing against the Orioles. He came out of the bullpen for a few innings, looked very good. Was against Baltimore, but I think it's something that he could do just based on his stuff alone and the way he pitches. When you look at teams that win it all, it really comes down to pitching. And I think that when you look at all the moves the Padres have made, what have they been trying to do? Get more starting pitching. Get Yu Darvish. Get Blake Snell. Get Joe Musgrove. The Dodgers, they already have a really good pitching staff to begin with Walker Buehler and Clayton Kershaw and Dustin May and Tony Gonsolin and Julio Urias. I mean, you can go on and on with all the good pitchers that the Dodgers have. And then we know how good the Atlanta Braves rotation is with Soroka and Max Fried and Kyle Wright and Ian Anderson and Charlie Morton and Drew Smyly. So the Mets, their rotation is pretty good, but it doesn't necessarily match up with those other rotations. You want to talk about how Bauer is not given that he's going to be good. Neither is Noah Syndergaard. Syndergaard has been consistent, and he had a bad 2019 as well. So as much as people want to kill Bauer for his 2019, Noah was not great in 2019 when you look at the ERA. Regardless of what the analytics say, either you're giving up runs or you're not giving up runs, and Noah Syndergaard gave up way too many runs in 2019. And he also did not pitch deep enough into games, which was a problem for the Mets because their bullpen was not good enough to sustain that. When Syndergaard comes back from his injury, if he's not the same pitcher, the Mets are in some trouble, and they're not going to have anyone else to turn to really be a quality number 2. Could Marcus Stroman do it? That's far from a guarantee. Carrasco is pretty good. David Pearson, and you never know what you're going to get out of Steven Matz. But I think that having Bauer would just give you another guy that can be a very good pitcher. Trevor Bauer has more upside than any other starting pitcher on the market, even Taijuan Walker, who I like a lot. Bauer has better upside. Bauer could win a Cy Young. I don't think Taijuan Walker is winning a Cy Young anytime soon. All these other starting pitchers are past their prime. Odorizzi and Tanaka and Paxton and all these other guys that we've talked about before. past their prime. They're not winning your Cy Young. They're not making an all-star team. But Trevor Bauer has the talent to do it. Can he do it? We'll see. But he has the ability to do it. The problem is that so far it looks like Trevor Bauer is asking for close to Garrett Cole money. That has been the rumor. Whether that's true, we'll find out. I mean, the Angels could really use Trevor Bauer. They need pitching more than the Mets do. I can see why the Angels would be willing to go one step further than the Mets and really outbid the team to give Bauer closer to what he's looking for and be able to sign him, similar to what the Blue Jays did to get George Springer. I could see it happening with the Angels. And they are close to where Bauer's from, California. Bauer has said that location is not a big deal for him. It's more so overall fit. And we also know that Bauer and Mickey Callaway are not the best of friends, and I can't blame him, because could you imagine coming into work and you want to pitch one way and you did really good in Cincinnati, you just won a Cy Young, and then Mickey Callaway comes up and goes, hey Trevor, I like the way you battled, but what I think is you should really change this pitch up. And Bauer's probably going to be like, oh, Mickey Callaway, go away. I have these analytics and all these different things I'm working on. I want to pitch every 4 days. I have all these different things I want to implement. I don't want to listen to Mickey Callaway, and I can't blame him. So it's either, do you want to go with Mickey Callaway and hope that you can make the playoffs with the Angels, or do you want to be a part of this exciting team with the New York Mets that is being talked about a lot? If Bauer's anything close to what he can be, it would make the Mets a World Series contender, because they have the good lineup already. If you could give them the rotation to go with it, I mean, that's how the Mets got to the World Series in 2015. It was with starting pitching. So that is why I want the guy that has the most upside. If I'm the Mets, if I really want Bauer, I'm going to have to give him close to what I offered Springer. Since the Mets had that money on the table to begin with, might as well offer it again. 5 years, 6 years, 125. If it doesn't take it, he wants a bunch of money and goes to Los Angeles, so be it. There are other ways that the Mets could get rotation help. One of the trades that I really like would be the Sonny Gray and Eugenio Suarez deal that would address multiple areas of this team. But other than that, you could sign Taijuan Walker. Outside of that, there isn't really much else left. I think that since Springer is off the board, since LeMahieu is off the board, if Bauer wants to be a Met, he said he likes Steve Cohen, he likes Sandy Alderson, I don't see why you don't at least make an offer. Hopefully a one-year deal. That would be the best case scenario for the Mets. If they can get Bauer on a really high one-year deal, I would be all for that, because you don't have to worry about long-term, don't have to worry about will it prevent you from extending Lindor or Conforto, Syndergaard, all those guys, you wouldn't have to worry about that. So that would be the best case scenario. But if you could offer them, like we talked about in the comment section, 3-year deal, a little high on the AAV, just so you're not hamstringing yourself later on if Bauer doesn't work out right away, just to avoid stuff like that, that would be the way to go. Oh no, it's intriguing to know that once again the Mets are a finalist, and it's down to them and another team to sign a marquee free agent. Some people want to see the Mets get another big time player. I think Trevor Bauer could be one of those guys. So we'll see what happens. Again, I really want to hear what you guys have to say about this. I know you guys are gonna be all over me. You don't like Bauer, but I think that you have to consider, compared to the other options, Bauer has the most upside. You at least have got to give me that. So until the next one, be safe, be smart, be healthy, and let's go Mets.